This is a brief introduction to BlueSky Excel Builder from Relational Solutions. I'm going to cover a few slides up front just to give you an indication of what this product can do and the power of the tool itself. First of all, what is BlueSky Excel Builder? BlueSky Excel Builder allows you to easily create dashboards and reports in Microsoft Excel by querying databases with no technical knowledge needed. You can also refresh workbooks. So once a workbook is created, you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 queries in the workbook, and clicking a button allows you to refresh all of the data in the workbook. In addition, you can share workbooks with other people, and those users then, if they have the BlueSky add-in, the BlueSky Excel Builder add-in, they'll also be able to refresh the data. And finally, it's secure. So users can only see what they're allowed to see. Security can be set at the role level and even at the record level. So what you're going to see in BlueSky Excel Builder is a new tab, and that's the BlueSky add-in. And within that tab, you'll see where you can easily create queries. You can even combine data from disparate sources. So I can combine data, say, from another Excel spreadsheet with data from a database. BlueSky Excel Builder also automatically creates pivot tables. And you can then, once it's in there, you can just use the regular Excel formulas and formatting. So we're not introducing anything new on the formula side, the formatting side. All of it will be completely familiar to you. So this again is designed to be very easy to use. And one-click refresh of the data with security built in. So that's the brief overview of the BlueSky Excel Builder. And now we're going to get right into the product. Okay, so now we're in Excel. And you'll notice in Excel, we have a new tab. Tab's called BlueSky. So once the BlueSky add-in is installed, which takes about a minute, you'll see a new tab at the top called BlueSky. So if I click BlueSky, the BlueSky tab, you'll notice there's different menu items. So here I can open a query that I've created in the past. I can create a new one. I can modify a query. I can save it. Share the query with others who have the BlueSky add-in. Manage my query. So this is where I can delete different queries, share them with others if I hadn't shared them already, so on and so forth. And I can connect into various databases using this connect button. And with click of a button, I can also refresh the queries automatically. And it will go back in and refresh whatever I've created in the past with the new updated data from the database. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to create a report in a query using the BlueSky Excel add-in. So the example I'm going to show you today is a consumer products company. And that consumer products company sells various products to many of the mass retailers, such as, say, Walmart, Target, things like that. So this is just an example. So the first thing you'll notice is this, what we term as a business layer or semantic layer. This shields the user from the complexities of the database itself. So I have four folders in here, one for the facts or the metrics, the time or calendar, products, so this is typically like my product master, and then the retailers. So I'm going to go in and then just pick and choose what I want to see in this particular data set. So I'm going to pick dollars sold and units sold. I can hold the control or shift key to pick multiples and just move them over. So from the time folder, I'm going to pick month, quarter, and year, create a little hierarchy, and move that over. And in the products, I'm going to pick item description and item category. And I want to see it across multiple retailers. So these are basically my customers. So I'm just picking and choosing what I want to see. I don't have to know anything about SQL. The SQL language, there's no technical knowledge required. So I just click the next button right here where my mouse is to pick and choose a filter. So maybe I want to look at the products, but not by all the categories. I might want to look at only a few product categories. So I click next, and then I just select the values. By doing this, it's going in and querying that particular table in the database and pulling up the options for me to choose for the product categories. So I'll pick the top 4. And notice how it displays them down here so I can see what I've chosen. So if I have more than one filter, it will line these up for me and I can see everything I've picked. Again, I hit the next button. And now I can run it. So that's it. It's basically 3-4 easy, very easy steps. I do have a couple other options. By default, BlueSky Excel Builder will create a pivot table for me. So I can uncheck that if I want. I'm going to keep that checked to show you how that works. So at this point, I'm just going to run it. And it's asking me if I'd like to save it so they can reuse this in the future. What that means is, if I want to refresh this query later on, I need to save it. So I'll just say, yes, I'll save it. And I'll call this Demo 6. So I can give it whatever name I want. I can add folders and organize queries and things like that in here. So now it's going to run the query. So it's issuing and creating the SQL dynamically to the database, running the query. It's completed that, and now it's asking me whether I want to put this on a new sheet or the existing sheet. I'll just put it on a new sheet. And very quickly, it created a pivot table for me. So here's the raw data. You saw that kind of flash up there very quickly. This is a dynamic table. So the next time I run this, if there's fewer or more records in here, it will dynamically expand and contract for me. I won't have to go back in and do that and reset the range. Notice how it also puts a last refresh time and date in here so that I know when this data has been last refreshed. So now in here is the pivot table. Now I just simply drag and drop things into place and how I want to see them. So I'm going to put year in the column area. I'll put month in the row area. And I'll take dollars out of the report filter and I'll put retailer in there. So I'm looking at sum of dollar or units sold. So I want to set this value to just a number with 1,000 separator. So this is all typical Excel functionality. So now here's my report. I've got a nice pivot table. I can look at the various retailers. I can create charts. I can do whatever I want with the data at this point in time. I'm in Excel, and I'm using all the functionality from within Excel.